We're checking in with the city of Tega. Gretchen Kaler is the social media information. So she's what is it? Social media
information specialist.
That's
There's
what
a
it is.
slash in there.
I was waiting for you to say the word expert and guru, but we have to give her
I'll take that one too.
title.
I'll take that too.
I forgot to do the and sign. So social media and information specialist.
Yes.
Gosh, Gretchen, it's not
One
like
day
you've been
we'll
on
get
this
it
show before.
right, you know.
Okay, Gretchen, we are still talking about Bambi in Tega. Boy, so the city sent out surveys.
Yes.
This is dealing with what to still do with the deer.
This survey that we did recently was to gauge different areas of the city. Like we've got the quote unquote older peninsula, and then we've got the newer side where Lake Ridge and a bunch of our new construction's going on. So we wanted to gauge people across the board to see what their impact of the deer looked like. So a lot
After calling.
right.
Okay.
And just in general. So typically our residents on the peninsula side, those are the ones that are very outspoken because almost all of them are experiencing the landscape issues. The deer are eating the landscaping. They're doing their animal things in their yards, and some people have fences and the fences aren't working, so they're kind of at their wits' end with the deer population versus the newer side of the city with the new construction and everything and the landscaping very different. They don't typically see as many issues with the deer.
So it sounds like the city is split on whether or not to continue, right? Some kind of method, whether it's calling or the birth control method, versus some that just say like, hey, it is what it is.
Yeah. And there's been a lot presented over the last few months with all the different experts. So there's like 4 or 5 different things the city can look at. And versus if you do, sterilization, if you sterilize this many, but you call this many is very different than if you birth control this many. And, it's all a numbers thing and how much money city council wants to spend on it. So,
well, and looking at the survey results, you put together great pie charts, which Lucas and I love visualization, and we can see it's pretty split. There's not much that stands out. Is there anything that you noticed from your perspective that the community was saying, hey, we've got to do this versus that?
Not typically out of these. These were mainly of what people were okay with spending or what they thought would be best. And then the one that kind of gets me is the one about traffic, which was pointed out during the presentation. You don't have to report a deer collision, but more people had said in the survey that they experienced a deer collision that were reported with PD over the last 3 years.
So the numbers didn't add up to what PD had. Okay.
Yeah, but you don't have to report it. So
with these survey results, the city council will just look over them, and that gives them guidance on how to proceed. So
these were presented. Results were presented to city council at the meeting last week by our assistant city manager. And council will take those into consideration moving forward. They really wanted to gauge, and they wanted the community to feel like their opinions were heard. That was also another main goal of the survey. So this is just another tool for council to use when they make their decision.
I know we are living with it because it's right here in our backyard, but we can't be the only community that is facing this. I assume down in the beach, I know you previously worked in the Myrtle Beach market. Were these topics common down there, or like
Myrtle Beach had some other topics that were bigger issues, but there are plenty of communities that we've reached out to. I know council's in favor of Ann Arbor, Michigan. They have a pretty good program. They've been running that program for almost a decade now, I think, if not more. But we've also had, I think Matthews called us and asked for our guidance on the program.
Matthews, North Carolina?
Yes.
Okay, so they're in the similar boat as
yes, so our assistant city manager is the deer czar. He is the know-all of deer.
It is interesting. I went to a cookout not too long ago in Tega, and that's not my neck of the woods, so it was bizarre, but in the matter of hour and a half, we were out there eating. 2-3 deer just casually come up very close to you in the backyard. They're so comfortable. And though it didn't bother us, I can understand what people with the landscaping and vegetation can't keep up with because those deer were eating things back there.
Well, who knew Bambi was so popular in the city of Tega? So we'll pay close attention to this and see where we go from there. Well, speaking of all of those trees, the city of Tega got a proclamation, right? So
we got recognition.
Recognition. Okay. So walk us through what this recognition is, because we're now a tree city.
Yes. So we have been a tree city. It's like a USA tree city for 34 years now. We got the 2023 award, and that's what that presentation was, City Council. We gave Tim his sign back, just put a new sticker on it. And we've got little plaques that are hung up in City Hall. We're very proud of our vegetation and our trees, so that's a great thing to celebrate. 34 years.
So Tim, who you mentioned, is the operations director, Tim Gillette.
Yep.
And so for 34 years, wow. Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Congrats.
Not only do the humans enjoy the trees, but also the deer.
Yes.
So you should
Gotta preserve them.
You should get a little asterisk on this sign and do and deer.
deer.
Enjoy it as well. All right, we're speaking with Gretchen Kaler. She's with the city of Tega. She's a social media and information specialist. You're kicking off your summer concert series next month in the month of June.
Yep, that's a couple weeks away. Our first one is June 8th at Rundy Park, and that is with Too Much Sylvia.
Okay. Do you know what kind of music they play?
I have
Genre?
not heard them. I think they kind of, my guess is like covers mainly. I don't know if they have originals or what. I haven't looked them up. But I know that they play around Myrtle. They're very local. They play around here a lot. So I'm ready for our concert series to start.
And again, time, location, all that stuff.
Yep, Rundy Park. That is on June 8th, and that time I believe is 7.
Okay. Well, when you can download the Tega City app, it will be on there.
It's already in our event calendar. I already added it.
Fantastic. So, Gretchen, remind them again where they can go, what the app is, all of that.
They can find the app on our Facebook page. You can also find the PD app on their Facebook page.
The police department.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
And then on the App Store, if you just search City of Tega or Tega Police Department, both of those apps will pull up, and they're free to download.
I know we just got through with Memorial Day, but the next holiday on the calendar is 4th of July, and you're already taking parade registration?
Yes, for our land parade and our flotilla boat parade.
Flotilla. Now, why are we saying flotilla?
That is another Caroline Hasty, so I can't take the credit on that one.
I love it.
And they've been doing the float parade that follows the land parade for many years. And
Yes.
the 4th of July is very special to the city of Tega because it's their birthday.
Wow.
When they were founded and created. Your parade will sell out. It will fill up pretty quickly.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know how many spots are available?
I don't think that we have a minimum number of spots.
Okay.
That's something. This will be Caroline's second year, so that's up to her
Okay.
to decide. But it's come one, come all.
Okay.
We don't typically do a lot of walking or like a marching band or anything because of the landscape of the city. But sign up for both. We're doing Thursday, Friday, and Saturday are all 4th of July events.
Gosh.
Fantastic.
And then you've got a cleanup event at the park.
We had a cleanup
Oh,
event.
you had one. Okay, sorry.
Yep. There was one. We had a resident. We had their spring pick-me-up days, and one of our residents took that into account. She wanted to help us keep the parks clean, and she did that for spring pick-me-up. But we also had the post up about the discarded floats along the river. I think that's the one we've talked about.
Okay, yes.
Yeah. And we're just asking people to keep the river clean. If you've got a float and it doesn't make it all the way to the end, or you're sitting on the side of the trip and you're halfway done and your float doesn't make it, just discard your float and your trash in the designated areas.
Please,
Great
thank you so
point.
much
Yes.
for that reminder because we're about to spend a lot more time on our beautiful bodies of water, and we do not want them to be littered.
Yeah.
It's bad enough that we litter on land. We definitely don't want to do it on water, too. So, all right. Gretchen, a great update from the city of Tega as always, friend. Thank you very much.
Thank you.